Do you like scary movies? What's your favorite scary movie? Scream 4.
Alright, so it's been 10 years since the last Scream movie, and it's also been 10 years since Neve Campbell's character Sidney Prescott has been in Woodsboro, her hometown, which is where the first Scream takes place. So the timelines meet up a decade later, and it's time to recharge this franchise. And although we have the surviving cast from the original Scream trilogy returning in this one, we have a whole slew of new faces that can reach boom, certain death. Ooh. Labyrinth. Most of the cast in this movie consists of 20-something-year-old girls portraying high school students, in which case, God bless you, Wes Craven. Or they're actually high school girls portraying high school girls, in which case, God bless you, Wes Craven. And the main character in this movie is Emma Roberts, Eric Roberts' daughter, which is really funny, because if you notice that Julia Roberts is like hotter now, I can kind of see why she has to compete with her niece. I mean, that shit has got to give you a complex. Now, personally for me, I loved the original Scream. It's not just a throwback to scary movies, it's a throwback to like movies in general. If you're a movie fanatic, you'll like the first Scream movie. The next two Scream movies I wasn't really fond of because the first Scream movie like defined things. I mean, a normal guy snaps, kills people, and bases it off scary movies. That was awesome. That was original. And we were promised
new decade, new rules.
Which I do kind of feel like I was bait and switched by that phrase, because the only time in this movie it really plays that up is the first 10 minutes of the movie, and I really like the first 10 minutes. It's hilarious, it's awesome, it's like my favorite part. The movie's supposed to recapture that feeling that Scream 1 gave us, you know, defining a genre and shit, but it never really does. It more or less captures the feeling of the last Scream movie, which is why was this movie made? It's basically the same thing as the last couple Scream movies. You have a bunch of new faces that get killed, while the whole time you're thinking, who is the killer? And did I guess the killer? Well, yeah, I kind of, at one point I was like, that's the killer, but I also said that to everyone on screen at one point, so no, I didn't guess shit. I'll say it like this, if you like the entire Scream trilogy, you'll like this. It's more of the same stuff you've come to love. If you like the first Scream, but you weren't really a fan of Scream 2 and or 3, you're pretty much gonna like this about as much as you like Scream 2 or 3. Or lack thereof. And if you didn't like any of the Scream movies, why would you watch this? You're going to hate it. As a fan of Scream 1 that found the sequels, I will say Scream is okay, but you're not going to remember it in T-minus the exact moment you leave the movie theater. It's like cinema hypnosis. While you're in the movie theater, you're like, I'm having a good time with this movie for what it is. Then you leave the movie theater and it's like you're broken from a spell. You're like, I remember liking that movie 5 seconds ago, but it's really not that good. It's weird. It's funny that this movie makes fun of franchises that just milk it forever, and now it's a franchise that milks it forever. And what happened to Dewey's limp? In the last couple Scream movies, Dewey had a limp because, you know, a knife severed a nerve. He's all walking around like he had spina bifida or something, and now he's all walking around normal like, all right, I have police work to do. Maybe it's the whole stem cell thing. Although I did like the end of the movie. I like how it all wrapped up. It was actually pretty cool. It's like the biggest redeeming quality of this movie. Everything leading up to it is the same stuff as Scream 2 and 3. And although it never shows it on film, I know who the real killer is. Based on the fact that he talks like
this when he asks you what your favorite scary movie is. It could only be me, Solid Snake. You didn't see that one coming, did ya? Because I'm no hero. I'm actually a killer. Crazy shit, right?
However, as a collection like Screams 1 through 4, probably be a good time if you're watching them on like Halloween with a bunch of friends and some alcohol. But if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.